Good Tuesday morning, everybody. This is Pastor Dean with Bascom Community Church. Thank you for joining me as we continue our series of devotions, Flourish, Living a Fruitful Life by Hillsong United Kingdom. We have 3 scripture readings today. We'll be doing those in the New Living Translation, but they are also embedded again in the devotion, and that'll be the NIV, the New International Version, that we'll be doing when we actually do the devotion. Our first reading, Luke chapter 12, verse 50. Lord, bless this, the reading of your word. Jesus spoke these words, I have a terrible baptism of suffering ahead of me, and I am under a heavy burden until it is accomplished. Our second reading, 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 8. We are pressed on every side by troubles, but we are not crushed. We are perplexed, but not driven to despair. Our final reading, James chapter 1, verses 2, 3, and 4. Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow, for when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. These the words of God for the children of God. Our devotion is titled The Ruler, Pressed but Not Crushed. So let's be honest, sometimes biblical truths can be a little bit frustrating. Like when you're going through a very tough season, a rough time, and a well-meaning friend drops James 1, 2, and 3 on you, and this is the NIV version. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. And this verse may not feel so joy-inducing at those times, and let's be sure, sometimes we don't receive it very well because that's the last thing we want to hear, but despite our initial reaction, it is true. So farmers, after having allowed their fields to fallow, rest, and then plowing the ground to break up any hardened soil, that was our devotions from Monday and then last Friday, farmers will then roll the ground. And using these giant rollers, they firm the seed bed and they smooth out clumps of soil into more manageable pieces. So this process improves seed to soil contact, giving seeds better access to nutrients and the necessary moisture. It reduces the risk of damage from debris, small stones, and other objects that might interfere with planting or harvesting by pushing them farther away, and it also helps diminish weed growth. Have you ever felt like the pressures of life were rolling over you? And I must admit, I've had it a few times, and most of us probably have, or some of us might be going through something like that right now. So maybe what you're going through feels more like than you can bear. And even Jesus, as he faced the realities of what his earthly purposes would entail, said in Luke 12:50, again, Jesus spoke these words, I have a terrible baptism of suffering ahead, and I am under a heavy burden until it is accomplished. Sometimes we feel pressure due to the consequences of our mistakes, and sometimes we are burdened by the weight of doing the right thing, fulfilling God's purposes, and the opposition that can bring to us because we are following God's will. Paul felt this weight as well, as he describes in 2 Corinthians 4:8. Again, we are pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair. Pressure has a way of revealing what's beneath the surface. And when you face trials, are you pressed into deeper trust or into deeper fear? Either way, how we respond to the pressures we face determines whether we deepen or rather we derail. Press into God and allow Him to use what you're facing to weed out fear and strengthen your connection with Him, the source of all you need. And of course, James was right. He goes on to say in James 1:4, let perseverance finish its work so that you might be mature and complete, not lacking anything. So when we persevere through these difficult circumstances, we develop resilience and wisdom that could not have come anyway. Flourishing often comes not despite pressure, but because of it. And let's face reality, we've probably all encountered this in our life. when we go through these times of pressure, these things that we can't think we go through, when we come through the other end and we're changed people, the best thing is when we see other people going through something similar, we're able to reach out to them and they will listen to us because they've been through it, and we're able to help each other in our walk with Christ and get through these difficult times. All right, our meditations posted on our Facebook and our YouTube platforms. 1, what pressure are you facing right now? It doesn't have to be a big pressure. It could be a little one, but what pressure are you facing right now? And 2, how might God be using this to deepen your connection with Him and to strengthen your resolve? God bless. Please remember, be kind, be gentle, be loving, and I will see you tomorrow morning.